Welcome to the Internet Idiotz Podcast. I am one of your hosts, AJ, and we have...
I'm your best friend and the biggest idiot here, Remy.
Whoa, I'm Maze. Whoa.
Oh.
And we're talking about TUMBLR SEXYMEN, and it's a smash or pass competition.
Competition?
It's gonna be a competition. It's competitive.
What are the points?
The points are, we're going through the SEXYMEN. Oh, yeah. Who wants to introduce SEXYMEN?
Well, TUMBLR SEXYMEN are male characters that go viral on Tumble for their perceived attractiveness based on an established formula.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Good. We've saved all of the well-known ones for last, so I'm not going to put a timestamp on here, so you get to find out yourself. We have a list, since it's gonna take a while and it's already fucking late, I think we can skip all the question mark fuckers, which leaves the first one to be Cicero from Skyrim?
Yeah, Cicero, Elder Scrolls. Alright.
Elder Scrolls, okay. I know nothing about this character, so I cannot help with this.
This man is like a court jester, but not in the Germa way. He's actually like clinically fucking insane, and he murders people, which I guess could tick some boxes for some people apparently. But
here, let me put him in. I genuinely don't know what he looks like. It doesn't. I tried to put a link in, it didn't work.
This recording.
Anyway, he just wears a jester outfit, and then every now and then he pipes up about how much he wants to murder people. He's not a very sexy person, in my opinion. Especially with how droopy his head is.
He looks very old.
Exactly.
He chose a clown aesthetic, and then he didn't use any of the clown pieces.
He doesn't have any makeup, and that's
he's a fun friend, but I would not smash.
I definitely wouldn't smash. Damn, this bitch ugly. Can I say that?
Probably.
No, he's gonna sue us now.
Yes,
Cicero Skyrim in like fantasy land. Transitioning. Fuck you.
Just say dark.
I don't care about this man. Can we talk about Darkiplier?
Yeah. Next up is Darkiplier from Markiplier. Now,
Darkiplier. Yeah. Sorry.
Listen, we've all been cringe. I can't deny that I liked edgier characters, and Markiplier lore has always been just really fun to watch.
You sound like you're doing a presentation.
I have notes. That is word for word what was written in my notes.
Why are you... Okay, I know Darkiplier. The reason I found out about Darkiplier is Antiseptiplier and Darkiplier ship art, actually.
First gay people to ever live.
And I had no idea what it was, and I don't know the origins of Darkiplier, really? Do you, Remy?
Basically, in the lore, Darkiplier is a combination of the siblings Celise and Damien. And
I know that. I meant like his origin. Like, where did he come from?
He was just Dark Markiplier. He was just like a Halloween kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. Antisepticeye also fits in, but I guess he didn't have as big as a following because he's just in a t-shirt, not a full suit.
Yeah, it doesn't have the piece of...
He doesn't have the sexy potential.
Yeah. But also, while we're talking about Markiplier, I'd argue that Wilfred Warfstache really could have been more of a TUMBLR SEXYMEN.
He does fit more of the archetypes.
Yeah, I think what threw it off was probably the accent, but he does have, he does timeline buffoonery, he wears a suit most often, and but he is generally very feral. And I feel like Wilfred Warfstache also could qualify as a TUMBLR SEXYMEN.
Yeah, the accent thing doesn't really make sense either, because like most TUMBLR SEXYMEN have like that one thing that doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck are they a TUMBLR SEXYMEN?
Vice.
But speaking of men Remy likes, let's go to Eggman. We never did smash or pass. Who cares? I'd smash.
I'd smash him
It's
I would not.
Markiplier.
with a hammer.
Well, time to go to the other man Remy likes. Eggman.
Jim Carrey from the Sonic movie of 2020. The last movie I saw in theaters before COVID hit, and I can say this has negatively affected me. Now these two know me, and they know that I really liked the Sonic movie. It was very charming and very funny. But Dr. Robotnik was the best part of the movie. He was funny, he was energetic.
He's played by Jim Carrey.
He played by Jim Carrey. And there's a scene in the movie where he dances. He's very gay. And I know he's mean, but he's the kind of mean where he's like almost attractive. And he was there were some scenes in the movie where I was like, how did they let this in? Like the mouth grab scene or the
Do you have something to say about the mouth grab scene?
That's an actual scene in the movie. I'm not making that up.
Yeah, you have to mention Dr. Stone if you mention Eggman, because for those
he's
who
an
don't
agent.
know, Eggman does grab Dr.
He grabs a
Stone's
man by the mouth.
mouth, and
He's mean
isn't
to
that the
his
coffee one?
Yeah.
He's like, he has coffee. He's like, I love how you do it, or
I
whatever.
love how you make them.
Yeah.
I don't know why I liked them. I thought he was just funny. He's attractive for an older man.
You also have smut drawn of him.
I deleted it. For a
You
reason.
deleted it,
That's
but
gone
it
from the
still
records.
exists in my heart.
That's gone from the
It's-
records.
It's still in your
It's taken
sketchbook.
from the record.
I saw
It's
it.
taken- Why
I
are
went
you?
to your house.
You're never gonna. Well, these people can't get in my house, so.
That's true.
And I can. It's the internet, so I can just say you're lying on the internet for clout.
You could,
You're
but I
bullying
know
me.
it's real.
All right.
Anyway,
Fuck you.
the next character.
You're
Yeah.
moving on already.
Yeah.
The,
the next
Yes, we're
character
moving
that
on
AJ made us
already,
put-
AJ.
the Geico Gecko. This is
Yeah, you
my.
made us put the Geico Gecko in.
I need
Huh?
to
What about that?
introduce him. I put him on the list. I didn't
Yeah.
put him on the
Yeah,
list.
of
He was
course you
on
put
the
him on the list.
Also, how is he a Tumblr SEXYMEN? I'm not active on Tumblr, so I wouldn't
I-
know. But I've never seen fan art.
I
for
don't
this
think
fucker.
he is. I think it was just one of the mods who thought he was hot, and
It's
that
a
made
result
it
of
our problem.
capitalism.
Okay, the
Evil.
amount of the lore that is in these advertisements for the Geico Gecko is insane. I go through. I've see them. I don't watch cable much because I don't watch television much. But when I do, the Geico Gecko ads always tell me more that I didn't need to know, but now I do. Like, this man has a full-on helicopter and shit, and his siblings apparently are I don't know. Look this up for me if anyone's watching. But his siblings are bigger than him, and that they make fun of him because he's small. But he's
Yeah.
also 20 times more successful because he's a cap. He's got
His
all
brother
this shit.
Godzilla.
Is his brother Godzilla?
I don't know. Could be.
I think it's implied. I don't know. But the amount there's endless lore for the Geico Gecko, and I personally wouldn't smash him. I would definitely pass because he's a fucking lizard.
I think if I tried to smash him, I'd just squish him. So pass.
I like how you contemplated it. I could fuck the lizard, but I could
I'm
squish
too
under
powerful.
my weight.
Yeah, I'm too powerful. Fuck you.
Maze?
Maze, are you gonna fuck the gecko? Maze? Maze, you gonna fuck the gecko? Huh?
Wait, can you not hear me?
No,
No.
What?
your
Are you
mic
gonna-
died.
Fuck the
You
gecko
good?
or not?
We heard you now.
No, I'm not gonna fuck the gecko. No, I'm not gonna fuck the gecko.
You heard it right here, folks. Maze
heard
is
it
going
right
to
here.
fuck the gecko.
Maze is gonna fuck the gecko. That's
This
our
is our-
next episode. Live
Well,
stream.
speaking of gecko, you know what rhymes with gecko? Not Guzma. Anyway, speaking of Guzma,
Why are you
Well, let's
segueing into
transition.
my character?
because it's next.
Yeah.
Did you read the fucking list?
Yes.
Mrs.
This is
Prepared
one of
over
our
here.
characters that is on the screen right now. You'll see it if you're
Yeah.
looking at the screen.
Ooh.
Fuck you.
And now he's changing
Oh.
colors. Woo! AJ will be editing this, and I'm making
I'm
your problem.
he's not going to be changing colors.
Oh, now
My,
you're gonna break Remy's heart.
Yeah.
don't think he's gonna get
Talk
this
about
far.
Guzma. Just talk about this motherfucker.
Anyway, Guzma, who
He's from Pokemon.
apparently is not 50 years old, as I had once previously believed.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you there. How do you think he's fucking 50 years old?
Because he has white hair. He has white hair. That's a marker of being old.
It's anime.
He's
They
like so
draw
smooth though.
fucking old.
Yeah, but I see hair and I'm like, oh.
That it doesn't make any sense. I played through
I
the
see your hair
entire
and I think,
game.
oh, a Karen.
I knew he couldn't be like over. He couldn't be over 30. You can just tell by looking at him.
Because I thought that like Kukui was like 40 and then Guzma was like 50.
Gang leader.
Yeah, let me just
Anyway.
go meet up with Thomas, the gang leader. He's got like an old man name.
He's pretty tough. He's got a big like silverfish as the enemy. What's it fucking called?
God.
Anyway.
So why is this one a sexy man?
Yeah, why is this one a sexy man?
As soon as his design dropped, people were immediately horny for this man.
I wasn't on that side.
Well, then don't talk about it.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway. What? you sidetrack me. I think you're like, okay, anyway.
You don't get to talk.
This is
Anyway.
No.
For God's sakes.
Talk about the Guzma.
Guzma was immediately brought up to have like this domineering personality where he was like this big bad honcho. And then the game came out and he was all just fucking basement dweller. It's your boy Guzma.
So he's like in like
in an abandoned hotel, right?
No, they live in a like town that they just took over for whatever reason.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
But they still live in a nasty ass like mansion.
Nice.
And I've gotta admit, they did get to me. They did get to me a little bit.
Maze gets converted.
You describe that in detail?
I would not like her.
I think that Guzma is hot. There, I said it.
Oh, present tense.
Oh, don't you dare present tense me. I know present tense used. Anyway.
I've never completed a Pokemon, but I feel like just based on design, I would smash this man.
I finished the game, and I would not smash this man.
Bad taste.
He is a
no accounting for taste.
Man-child.
I'm into that.
And?
Himbo Rex.
I am not into man-children, thank you.
All right. Well, next up is another man-child, as in he has childhood trauma. So next up is Dr. Habit, from Smile for Me, which is a very pleasant game with a very cute aesthetic of paper cutouts and drawings. Now this may be a controversial choice, but I would not trust this man to kiss. His whole shtick is that he's a dentist and he has a thing for teeth. And I feel like if I didn't pay attention while we were kissing, he'd pull away and I would just have gums. And you'd hear him walking away and he'd start rattling and go.
So we don't know anything about this game. What's the point? What's the game he's from?
It's called Smile for Me. It's a game about this man named Dr. Habit who owns a rehab center where he doesn't want people to leave. So he's causing all these problems on purpose. But he also has childhood trauma, and he tries to kill the main character, the flower child, by taking their teeth. And in the end, you have the choice to either kill this man or start helping him through his childhood trauma. His whole
I didn't hear the second.
You can either kill him or help him through his trauma.
All right.
And his whole thing is that he wanted to be a florist, but his parents made him be a dentist. And so his whole shtick is that he has teeth. And I feel like if I kissed him, he would take them. How
would he take them? By kissing?
Yeah, crunchy munch.
That's not how teeth work. How loose are your teeth?
How do you know that?
Moral of the story: don't trust
I have
dentists.
teeth?
Do you?
Do you?
Not
have teeth?
Not after this man comes around.
He's not real.
That you know of.
Look behind you.
Why does... Okay, but I hope you understand that you need pliers at least to get teeth out.
Okay.
It's
So this is
very
a pass
hard
for
to
me.
take
I have to pass on Dr. Habit.
Yeah, I'm going
You
based
suck
off this
your
description that you've given us. I'm going to have to pass as well.
All right.
Why would he suck the teeth?
I don't know.
All right, AJ, come on, you can say something.
I'm passing. I don't want this man.
Okay.
He's green.
You know who's not green?
There'll be an image on screen. I'll put it up.
You know who's not
Oh,
green?
he's doing a flip. No, he's not.
Whoa.
Oh, so
I'm
you can
gonna
do
get
this, so
lazy.
you
I'm not
can't
gonna-
make Guzma change color.
Was it
I think it's
Guzma?
because she's homophobic.
I already forgot.
Anyway,
No, anyway. We're not,
The next person on this video is Hero Brian.
Shit.
Shit.
No one likes Hero Brian. Anyway.
Well, I guess that's an immediate pass from all of us then. huh?
No, Hero
No.
Brian was one of those characters that was baby's first creepypasta deal. Like, I didn't understand what like creepy stories and creepy versions were until Hero Brian. And I also pranked a kid in 6th grade, making him think I was Hero Brian.
Like in
Same.
real life or over Minecraft?
Like, there's a kid in front of me playing Minecraft, and so I joined a local game because he was playing with his friend,
Mhm.
and I changed my name to Hero Brian, my skin to Hero Brian. The whole thing is that he held like, I watched those Minecraft skits, and for some reason he always held like a blaze rod. So I held a blaze rod, and then I just blew shit up for fun. It was funny, and then he found out it was me because I was right behind him.
So, you bullied a kid using this sexy man.
It was in 6th grade, in my defense.
So you
I
were
did the same
aware you
thing
were a
too.
live person. So would you smash or pass on Hero Brian?
He's too blocky now. I also don't like men. That's probably a good time to mention this.
Yeah. Halfway in the alphabet.
Yeah, we're halfway through. It's like, oh yeah, I don't like men, guys. Sorry.
I like men. Very
I
much
would
so.
smash Markiplier though. He's my exception.
Okay.
We never did Eggman either. Now that I'm thinking about it,
we don't need to do Eggman.
We all know
we
the
know
answer.
Remy's. We know
the
everyone's
fuck.
opinion.
I've been making dick sculptures
so
this entire time.
This is another character. Okay, next character. Fuck
Wait,
you.
we-
I'm transitioning. What do you mean? Did
We
you not?
haven't
Oh,
gone through
Maze didn't
everyone.
go.
Yes, we have.
No, I'm going to Junkrat.
She got here scared. She got by Hero
Yeah.
Brian.
I was trying. Oh, yay. Fuck you. We're going to Junkrat now. It's your time to shine. Junkrat is from Overwatch.
You never let me do the intro for these characters.
Okay, do an intro.
Hey.
You can tell me
Junkrat
more about
is-
him.
That's what I was trying to do. Anyway, Junkrat is an absolutely feral twink with a peg leg.
Damn.
And,
Wonder what else he pegs.
Pegging.
God's sake. Anyway, he does have hair that is constantly on fire, and he is
Yeah.
Australian, which
Oh my
all should
god, there's
be-
already
Points.
negative points.
all should be negatives, but
Tucks hair behind head.
What?
Something about him.
yeah, there's something about him.
Something about him.
this guy
Mhm.
fucking ain't cute.
This guy he ain't cute.
But honest to God, I would smash.
Hmm.
I think he has a husband, so I'm gonna have to pass. They seem happy together.
Yeah, isn't like there like a huge ship with him and
Yeah, it is him
Pigman.
and Roadhog. That's
Roadhog.
an entirely different matter, though.
Okay, I
He
like
got a
that
divorce.
ship.
Smash.
I'm a twink person, but I would not smash.
I thought you
He's
just said you
twink.
don't like.
On a scale of
I like
Men-
twinks, not sexually, but maybe
aesthetically.
aesthetically. My aesthetic is tweaked.
Okay.
There's gonna be a bunch of comments saying don't fetishize gay men in the comments.
I am gay men.
I am not.
Okay. Well,
this is a duo coming up next.
well,
Danganronpa.
yeah. The scary image. There is one character on here that I only wanted to mention for one reason, and that is Kokichi Oyama from Danganronpa. And I only put him on the list because I know that AJ's girlfriend kins him, and I wanted to desperately know her opinion.
I don't think no, she doesn't kin him.
Yes, she does. We've talked about this.
No, we went through her list and he wasn't there.
Purple.
I'm pretty sure she told. There's other purple characters. She does not kin. She doesn't kin Kokichi or Nagito. She named her character Nagito in Among Us.
Well, then what was even the fucking point?
How did you
Danganronpa.
put an S into Kokichi?
Shut the fuck up.
We're not
Please
talking about
bully my
that.
spelling.
If you're gonna bully us, we can bully you.
I made this list at last
10
notice.
minutes ago.
You cannot bully me for this.
I can bully you for putting a random S into here.
They'll have
Okay.
to figure out where the S is because I'm not putting this on screen.
Hello.
But Nagito Komeda is paired with Kokichi Oyama. And my girlfriend does not kin either of them. We can
Now-
safely say that.
Nagito
but-
Kamada is an interesting case, because Mr. Fingers up his ass. And that's all I know about
Do you
him.
know the context of that?
Someone was making fun of Kanye West because Kanye West copyright struck them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the fingers in the ass song.
Yeah. Fingers
I
in
know,
his ass. Fingers in
He's
his
commonly paired up with Sans, which is not the next character. That would have been a great transition, but we're not that good.
ass. And you know who's not Sans?
Lewis.
He's almost Sans, but not quite.
Wait, I forget this character, actually. Who wants to introduce him?
You were the one who wanted to talk about him.
Okay.
I literally have no idea who this is.
Oh, Lewis from... Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid.
You're-
Lewis from... So I had to pull up the list. Lewis from, Mystery... The Mystery Benz... Mystery Benz, or the Mystery, the fucking god.
Mystery
shit.
Skulls.
Mystery Skulls. There we go. Thank you. Mystery Skulls... I just want to plug Mystery Skulls. I would not fuck Lewis, because,
I'd fuck him.
Lewis is a ghost. But it's a really fun, it's a really good animated show, and they have a lot of fun character designs. I would fuck, the woman that we don't see. She'll be on screen.
You're so good at podcasting.
I'm so good at podcasting. I forget her name. They don't have names because it's entirely like visuals. But
Yeah.
it's a really good show, and you should watch it. And it's like 5 minutes per episode, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But since I just wanted to plug that project that isn't mine, let's go to Maxwell and Wilson.
This isn't even a
From-
smash or pass anymore. This is just a presentation.
Shut up.
That
I
neither of
wanted
you
to-
were prepared for.
Maxwell and Wilson are from Don't Starve.
Don't starve.
I know they got shipped together a lot.
But Maxwell
That's
looks
the
like a
most
million
important.
years older than Wilson.
Yeah, there's
Uh-huh.
that, and it's also the fact that Maxwell specifically imprisoned Wilson in
For
the
what?
realm that Don't Starve takes place in.
For what?
A lot of these Tumblr sexy men also have really toxic ships associated with them. Now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about this. Like, I know Kokichi is like gross. He's not a good person, but people ship him with the main character a lot. Suichi? Yeah.
Anyway, pass on Maxwell, smash on Wilson. Feral Science Twink is actually a pretty swag archetype.
It is a good
I think I
archetype.
pass on both. I don't know. The art style makes Wilson look like a child.
I'd have to
He's
pass
not.
on
No,
both.
he's not.
Because they look sharp. I feel like I would get cut if I touched them.
Plus,
Maxwell looks
I feel like
a
Maxwell
He-Man.
would not
Yeah,
be a
like-
very nice person.
He's
Even
not a
if he
nice
wasn't,
person.
like-
Isn't he like the
Even
villain?
if he wasn't like Satan in the university, he just stayed the magician.
Maxwell looks like
He's
he would call me a
basically-
slur.
Slurs. That's not poggers.
You know what is poggers though? Megamind from the movie
Yes.
Megamind.
Oh.
Now that is a man who would treat me right. He's the right amount of campy and evil, which is a good thing to have when your entire movie is based on parroting campy, evil villains, like from the early 60s. Now, Megamind's an interesting example because, number one, his alien form's not very cute, but he does dress very nice. And his disguised form of Bernard is extremely cute.
You think Bernard is cute?
I think Bernard's very cute. Do you not? He's got like a little.
Bernard is a
and
separate person entirely.
I know.
Though. Just okay.
he's boring.
I do
and
not
mean.
think Bernard is cute.
I think Bernard's cute.
He's got a big ass forehead, but Megamind is all forehead.
And Megamind
I'm
doesn't?
for that. I'm saying Megamind is all forehead.
All right. His
I will-
forehead and his back
I will say
head.
this.
Mhm.
Megamind is the other half of my brain. So one half is the desire to become a medieval peasant, and the other half is the aesthetic of Megamind. I would love to be a goth supervillain that dressed in spikes. And the Black Mamba look
Mhm.
is the best. I love the eyeliner under the eyes too. He's got to dress right to fight. And also the homoeroticism between him and Metro Man, and even him trying to like find a new Metro Man after the breakup metaphor.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
which is
It's
also
just,
like a.
I really love Megamind. It's such a good movie. It's one of my favorites.
That's also a really good critique on like some like a Batman around that time, because Batman during that
Mhm.
point was really just Bruce Wayne beating up like Joker, and it wasn't any of the campy fun of the early 60s comics. It was just beating up this man and like the straight man fantasy of just being a vigilante and getting him.
I know they had a lot of like problems with comics then, especially
Mhm.
since like comics back then they had like a lot of censorship laws, so they
Yeah, the
they
Comic
had
Code
to have like
Association.
fun with it, and they had to be like more subtle about it, and they had to avoid violence. And the good thing that came out of that is a lot of the superhero stuff became fun and accessible for all ages, as opposed to the violence and horror that they try to go for now. Now, because before it was dark and evil, but they had some fun stuff, and then they had to get rid of all the dark stuff. And because they had to get rid of all the dark stuff, they just leaned so heavily into the dark stuff. Now it's not as fun as it used to be.
Mhm.
They try so hard to make the Joker and Batman just like as dark as can be, or this is the newest low, and it's like it's so much more fun if you just pull out the Riddler out of your ass and actually like do shit with it, because it's
If he
really
tells
funny.
riddles, make the Riddler tell
Yeah.
riddles.
His name is the Riddler. I think the Harley Quinn series is a really good example of making villains fun again, because
Mhm.
it talks about Harley, and they bring characters like Kite Man and the Riddler, like some of the weirdest fucking creations done by DC, and they make them interesting. It made me actually sympathetic for a character who goes by Kite Man and wears kites as his like big superhero thing. It's like it's the perfect balance, and I feel like Megamind also has this perfect balance, because it's got like the fun of superheroes, and it explains how it's. I just like villain perspectives of things, because you don't have to be like rooting for them, or they don't even have to be redeemed. It's just one of those things where God, it's just one of those things where it's fun to see how they think and how they do things and how they interact with other villains. That's a really cool thing that Harley Quinn does. None of the characters from Harley Quinn are on here, but I do want to mention them. Also, since we are talking about DC characters, a character I think should have been on this list and is not my personal sexy man that we're talking about at the end is the Lego Joker.
Of course. And I would definitely
like that one is very funny. I would definitely get into a relationship with Megamind. It would be an asexual relationship because I do not want to fuck him, but I would love to be in a relationship with him.
He would treat me right. I'm gonna have to smash Megamind. Maze?
He would treat me right, but I would not smash him the same as AJ, just for different reasons. So I'm gonna have to say pass.
Alright.
That's fair. He is blue and got a giant head.
A deal breaker.
And voiced by Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I can overlook the Will Ferrell part.
I cannot.
But speaking of other characters I like, Professor Membrane from Invader Zim. Professor Membrane is a character that didn't get a lot. What?
You kind of sounded like Watch Mojo a little bit. Professor Membrane from Invader Zim.
Shut the fuck up. Don't believe me. That's my normal
That's what we made this
speaking
for.
voice.
Okay, we
Watch
can bully
Mojo's
AJ
gonna
more
steal our
later.
list.
Let's continue.
Okay, no, we gotta bully me now.
No, please talk
Cowards.
about this
Please
bill.
talk about Professor Membrane.
Professor Membrane is the cause of people's daddy issues. I'm going to say this right now. He is a character that didn't get a lot of development in the show, but he did get a lot of development. Not much development, but he did get a lot of screen time in the special, Enter the Florpus. I recommend you watch it, even if you have no idea about anything Invader Zim related, because it's just a fun watch. Invaders, it actually focuses more on Dib than, because the show is all about Zim and his like efforts, and then Dib trying to stop him, which there's a ton of Tumblr shipping between those two, even though Zim is like 100 years old and Dib is like 14. Anyway, Professor Membrane is basically the ignorant father that is a big scientist and is very credible, but every time Dib is like, yo, we have an alien in our neighborhood, he says, no, you silly goose. He's like kinda, he's ominous, he's tall, he's he used to be a twink. They untwinked him for the Enter the Florpus special.
De-twinkification.
That's kind of based, though.
Based.
Yeah. They changed a lot of the designs to be closer to the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very smart. He's a scientist, like a professional. And he doesn't believe in like aliens and stuff. I think he doesn't believe Dib found an alien. He's very ignorant of Dib, and Dib is one of those characters. He's like Candace from Phineas and Ferb, where he'll go in and he'll find the evidence and he'll be like, Dad, look! And then his dad he doesn't interact with his dad as much, but his dad will see nothing. Or there's points in the Enter the Florpus where he actively shows him alien technology and he just dismisses it.
And then there's a point where he
went to an alien prison. Yeah, and he actively just says, oh, this is a fever dream. And it's like the definition of like, this man won't listen to me.
I don't know, it's kind of swaggy though.
It's not. I would not fuck Professor Membrane because he would just ignore me.
Yeah, he feels like a very sweet person, but at the same time I feel like he'd gaslight me on accident, so I'm gonna have to say pass.
I feel
oh
like
my god, he definitely would gaslight you on accident.
I feel like he'd be very an inconsiderate lover. I would not smash. Pass.
Yeah, he's also away for most of the series because of his job, so he's busy. He'd give you a lot of money. He'd have a lot of money, I think. Next up is Mothman, a cryptid.
Yeah. I'm the main talker about Mothman because I've actually been to West Virginia to meet him. I did meet him behind a Chili's, and I think Mothman is not only cute in his cryptid form, but I would also like to specially mention the Adventure Zone Amnesty version of Indrid Cold, who is definitely a Tumblr sexy man because he is a twink, he's skinny, he has white hair, he can see into the future, and he's definitely very quirky. So Indrid Cold and the Mothman by extension are Tumblr sexy men due to their hotness and just being kind of quirky and out there. So, and I would also smash because Mothman's kind of sexy.
I would smash Mothman. Just gonna say it. I've never met Mothman or been to a Mothman event, but Mothman is a cool cryptid, I think. The aesthetic of Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
I love different designs of Mothman. You're gonna have to DM me the design you were talking about specifically, Remy, but Mothman is a very versatile character, and I think a lot of cryptids are, but Mothman is probably one of the most humanoid, which makes him fuckable.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna pass.
Oh my god.
I'm staring at it.
This is the true colors.
I cannot say that I'm interested in the Mothman. Like, I don't
Get
see
her out of here.
I don't see where y'all are coming from.
He's mysterious. It's the same reasons for like most of these Tumblr sexy men. They're mysterious and tall and twink.
And also,
yeah, but he's literally a bug.
But the Mothman's also connected with the falling of a bridge and trying to prevent it. I feel like he'd be a very misunderstood yet caring lover. I think he would try his best, and I can respect that in a man.
Like, again, he sounds swaggy, but I mean, I just cannot imagine myself having intercourse with this moth.
It is entirely up to the interpretation of the person who is thinking about Mothman, since
basing off the statue that is listed in the Sexy Manpedia, I'm going to say pass.
Wait, no. Maze, please look up that statue's butt.
I do not want to look at that statue's butt.
It's dummy thick.
He's got an ass.
That's not going to change my opinion.
I'll put it on screen, and you can judge Maze in the comments.
If anyone's even still listening at this point.
Can we talk about Plankton?
I would love to talk about Plankton from SpongeBob. Now, when I'm talking about Plankton, I am not talking about the animated one, as he's literally a single-cell organism. And if you guys want to argue about the fucking mitosis Jones argument, I would show no mercy. I'm talking about the Plankton from the musical. I think he has a very good rap song, and he's a very funny antagonist to watch. I also think it's very funny that they twinkified him, like, legitimately in the canon show. I've also seen people ship him with Krabs from the musical as well, which opens a whole other discussion of how fandom culture would affect media that wasn't in its prime to experience it, but that is another worm in the can that we can get later. But the Twink Plankton from the musical is definitely a smash. I think he's very attractive, he's funny, I feel like he would be the spice that you need in your life.
Plankton has a loving relationship with his wife, in the musical at least, it seems. The SpongeBob episodes, it starts off with a generic straight people relationship, and then depending on the episode, it's very lovey-dovey, or it's very toxic and gross. So it depends entirely on headcanons, since SpongeBob is an episodic show. But that's not the point. We're talking about Plankton, and Plankton, mitosis Jones looking motherfucker, is not my style. But I do like the design they have for the SpongeBob musical. I have watched the musical many times because I have it on DVD, and it's the character designs in that movie are very fun. I think out of all the characters, I would not smash Plankton though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on both accounts.
Damn.
His outfit is not cute.
I'm fucking a man that's not cute.
I'm fucking this man that's not cute. Well, fine.
Plus, I could not smash a man who carries around a little puppet of an alternate universe version of himself.
He only does that twice. Calm down.
Calm down, ma'am.
I do like the design for Pearl. Pearl is very pretty.
Pearl is very pretty. And Pearl's also
just
a
bringing
teenager.
up women.
And you know who's also technically
Like Roderick Heffley.
Roderick Heffley.
I put Roderick Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I put him on this list. I put him on the talking points of this list entirely so I can bully my friend indirectly, because I don't know if she has a current crush on Roderick Heffley, and
okay, look.
I cannot.
It wasn't you.
No, I know it's not me, but look.
I can see a little bit, but not really.
Come on.
Roderick Heffley is the same boat as fucking Junkrat, so I understand why you like him. But most normal human beings don't want the dumpster man who stalked a girl at her job. I've watched all the movies. What about you? I didn't watch the most recent one.
I do not.
But the original Roderick.
I don't know process Diary of a Wimpy Kid media anymore. But look, I believe there should be like a rung down on the ladder from DILF to like represent the like stoner big brother archetype.
I guess. Would you ride in his loaded diaper van with him?
Yeah. Would you ride in the diaper mobile? Huh?
Diaper mobile?
Anyway. I'm not going to answer that.
You're avoiding the question. You
I
have
am
to.
avoiding. I'm going to plead the fifth.
If you smash him, he will smash. You will smash in the diaper mobile. That's where it would happen.
Why does it specifically have to happen in that diaper mobile?
Because we're
knowing Roderick, of course it would happen in there. Just think for like 2 seconds.
I'm gonna have to pass. I'm gonna have to pass on Roderick.
I'm passing on Roderick.
Mainly because
I'm smashing on Roderick.
He seems like a high school boyfriend that you would want to leave in high school.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just am not interested at all in this man. He was the high school bully archetype. Next up, the Stan twins from the Gravity Falls. I liked Gravity Falls a lot. Notice how there's no Bill. We'll get to him later. Wink, wink.
He's coming up. But when Gravity Falls came out, I was a naive child. So, of course, my crush was on the big one, Bill Cipher. Now that I'm cooler and older and wise to the ways of men, I have to say that I'm much more interested in Ford and Stan Pines. They have the DILF kind of aesthetic. I am also weak to both crime men and smart men. And I'm also I'm a sucker for parental figures that they kind of suck at it, but they're doing their best.
Anyway,
who cares?
I'm going to pass on both the Stan twins.
I'll pass on Stan Lee, but Stanford, yeah.
Actually, no, the smart one is kind of hot.
I'm glad you're coming around. That's progress.
This is progress.
I'm gonna have to smash on both of these men, and that really shows some character development from me.
Stanley is definitely trying to be a capitalist, but failing.
He's capitalist in a way he doesn't want to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So he's a libertarian.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that these two are even on the list, though. It definitely isn't on the like twink side, especially.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of do you think Megamind is on the twink side?
He's close enough.
He's kind of a twink.
I'm not active on Tumblr.
Well, you know, a character that is active on Tumblr is the character Tord from the Eddsworld series.
I fucking hate Tord. I'm just gonna say this now. Tord from Eddsworld it's a good character. I like, but like he has been ruined, like deeply ruined. The amount of people who draw him as like the most femboy twink ever is disgusting, and I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. His whole thing is that he's like some like Soviet Union freak after he leaves the Eddsworld gang at one point because the actor of his original voice actor left because I don't know Eddsworld lore.
He was the first of like 3 people to get harassed off of Eddsworld because people were making too much gay headcanons about him.
Already? Before that was even before Ed died.
I'm 90% sure.
I thought he got harassed after.
It might have been a like concurrent thing, but
I don't know. Anyway, he left, and then the quote unquote end, which is no longer the end if you check the YouTube channel, because Matt decided to revamp it. But Tom ended it with Tord coming back as a Soviet Union like leader who's wanted and like whatever, and he like it basically is these 2 characters hate each other, the movie, and that caused everyone to ship Tom and Tord.
There's no way there wasn't any
anyway.
Tom and Tord fan or before that happened.
There was probably, but it was probably very like minimal because because it definitely got more popular towards the end, especially at the end. So I personally didn't see it. I feel like Tord is just when you refer to Tord, most people are talking about the end Tord, not the like beginning. Also, Tord also went through a lot of design changes, and I think that's fun. I do miss Eddsworld. I'm not gonna follow the new episodes too much, but the series was good. The fans were really toxic, and there was Tord and Tom, and then the other 2, which were never even like, were very vaguely based off of real people, and they were also harassed because they weren't shipped to IRL, and that's a weird one. Tord is too much of a scumbag. He's a gaslighter, so I would not fuck him. What about you?
No, go
Based entirely off of appearance, smash.
I'm gonna have to pass on this man. He seems like he would start singing the communist song, the Soviet anthem.
The Soviet Union.
Yeah, shut up. He'd start singing the Soviet Union anthem, and he wouldn't stop. He feels like the kind of the guy in your history class that is almost band kid in energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
He would be... Band kids already sing the Soviet anthem on a daily basis. If he wasn't a communist, he'd do it normally. He'd send me a text and say, "Consider yourself gaslit," and then disappear from my life.
Okay.
Anyway.
Speaking of twinks with blondish hair, let's talk about Wheatley.
What the fuck are you talking about? He's literally a metal sphere.
Have you not seen the humanized Wheatley?
I know,
Portal. Wheatley from Portal 2. Have you not seen the humanized Wheatley?
I have seen the humanized Wheatley, but you can't introduce him as the humanized Wheatley.
No, they know who we're talking about, though.
How do you not? I said Portal 2, don't worry. They'll Google it.
They'll figure it out.
I'll put both versions on screen. I'm editing this.
Probably.
Hopefully. Anyway.
Probably. It depends on how lazy I get. Oh look, he's sliding off the screen.
Where's he going? Oh,
bye.
What's
He's not coming back.
Dog. Ooh.
He spins.
He's eating it. Holy
He's
shit.
not eating it. I can't edit
go.
that. I can't edit that.
Yo, go, White Sphere, go.
Go, White Sphere, go.
He's probably off the screen by now.
Alright. Maze, tell us about this White Sphere.
Okay, so in the opening of Portal 2, you're introduced to Wheatley as an ally, and you take him throughout the facility as GLaDOS comes back online and tries to murder your ass again. And then once you get to the like mid-game boss fight, once you kill GLaDOS and install Wheatley onto her chassis in order to override the system, he just goes like power mad and starts doing the exact same shit. So now you're being tortured by Wheatley instead of GLaDOS. Until
and
at
you
the end,
team up with GLaDOS, right?
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, you fight Wheatley, and then you just shoot a portal onto space, and then detach his ass, and he just flies out into fucking space,
like he deserves.
As he
and
deserves.
the whole thing, the whole thing with Wheatley is that he's supposed to be the dumbifier for GLaDOS, because in the first game he removed a
has
bunch
such
of
shit plans.
Yeah, his like build out, his layout for stuff and his like ideas are so awful, and it's pretty clear through the game.
Like there is the one time
he's literally the dumbification bot.
There is the one time
on GLaDOS'
in a
system
trap,
in the first game.
He tries to trap you by laying out a large panel of spikes and then asking you to jump onto a platform in order to get crushed by the spikes. And then there's another time that he just asks you to jump into a hole. Like, he is very obviously made to be just like a himbo throughout the entirety of the game before the term himbo was popularized.
People don't draw him as a himbo.
They draw him as a conniving little twink.
They should. They draw him as a twink. I do like the voice acting in that game. It's very fun. Wheatley is a character I like. If we're talking about the orb, I would not fuck it. But if we're talking about the twink, then you have a different story.
What is the different story?
I would.
Alright. I'm not a fan of British people. I left them in 2013. I'm glad Britain's not real. I would not smash this British man.
I feel like this little sphere would be very nasty. I would not smash.
You all hate me.
Yeah. And now,
all right.
The big finale.
This is the big ones.
The big boys. Big ones.
I made this list and I called them the big ones. These are the big ones. These are the TUMBLR SEXYMEN and Jack Frost. But we're starting with Alistair from Has Been Hotel. Anyone have any opinions before I complain?
I feel like he's Bill Cipher for a new generation.
Yeah.
If I was like 13 or 14, I think I would definitely be really into this. I'd be like, wow, look at him. Look at this twink go. But I am not who this is for. So really, it's not my place to say. So, Maze?
Okay. I absolutely despise Has Been Hotel for reasons that are not entirely clear to even myself. But Alistair is kind of hot.
Fair.
So that's
Alistair
all my.
Is hot?
Yeah. Kind of, but.
Look, I have a thing for weird like 1920s themed shit.
I guess.
AJ, look at her boyfriend.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, it's my turn to talk about Alistair. My voice connection is so bad. Anyway, Alistair is from Has Been Hotel, as you know. And watching Has Been Hotel, there is so much lore that is not written. And he's basically discount Bill Cipher. He's not the strongest. Unlike Bill Cipher, who is literally the strongest being in the universe, only limited by a 2D form. Alistair is a normal being that's just really powerful for his little groupie. He's not really interesting at all. I find no joy in watching this man. He feels like a cardboard cutout of a character instead of a developed one. He's literally made to be big evil, and I don't think he was necessary in the pilot. I think he dies in the 1920s, and he's a radio host, and he hates a TV man. That's all I know, and that's all they really say, because he has no character development, and I doubt he will throughout the series. He is not going to get redeemed. And I know when the pilot first came out, a lot of people started shipping Charlie and Alistair and making fan children. I know because they have a large community on Instagram. It was not a fun experience. It doesn't make sense. And I don't like Alistair. I don't like his design. It's very red. And it just doesn't stand out in my opinion.
Talking about Alistair's design, I feel like he was designed specifically to be a Tumblr sexy man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's too meta.
To be honest, if he didn't have the radio voice, I probably would not think as highly of him.
I think
that's literally the only thing that's drawing me in.
Avoid him. The only thing that's drawing most people in is the radio voice and the teeth.
It's the siren song, and I am the sailor.
That's fair, but I am gonna have to pass on this stupid motherfucker.
I am passing as well.
Very light smash.
Gently.
Okay.
And next it is time for my favorite character.
Henry from Half-Life VRAI. This is a very important character to Remy, so I'm going to talk about this real quick before it's his turn. But Henry is a very funny character. I do enjoy him, and I would not fuck him. Anyway, go off, Remy.
Go off, Henry.
Okay, so Half-Life VRAI has been a really big series for me this year because it's been really funny on this, and these two already know my opinion on it. Half-Life VR is just my favorite show right now, and Benry is a very funny character. He shows a bunch of traits, not in the show, but in the fandom, interpretation of him that would make him a desired Tumblr sexy man. He is a Tumblr sexy man, not in the canon universe, but in the way that fans have, morphed him. And the document that we did pull these sexy men from, they were debating on whether he technically counts. And I feel like Benry is only debated to be a Tumblr sexy man because of how recent he is. He's still in the freshness. People are still attracted to this man, unironically. But I feel in 3 years, it'll be like Dwensler. He's already got the Ask blogs. He's already has the fandom interpretation that's very different from his canon interpretation. And I feel, and there are already people shipping multiple Gordons together, so it's not too long before there are multiple Benrys together. I feel like this is a sexy man still in his prime, and that's a beautiful thing that we should be appreciating. I would fuck this man.
Why is there a debate? Yeah, okay. There is a debate because he's in his prime. How much of Tumblr is being overtaken by this man?
So much.
I know you're in, the mass of it.
I'm all of Benry. It's mainly just
so there hasn't been any self-cessed yet?
Not really, there's been a little, but not too much.
It hasn't become a big thing yet.
Yeah.
That's not a qualifier for Tumblr sexy men, though. Because, later entry on this list, I think I'm going to switch two of the characters. I will announce them, though. Don't worry.
Okay.
Next up, wait.
Neither of you smashed or pass. I would smash this man so hard. He's very funny. I love him.
He'd be a nice friend, but he'd also get really infuriating pretty fast. He also seems very needy, so I would not smash.
I'm just gonna say pass. I don't have any deeper reasoning behind it. It's just a gut instinct.
Just a gut feeling.
I
mean, he is gray-skinned with sharp teeth.
Well, not in the series. He's just a regular security guard man.
He's just a motherfucker.
He's kind of gray-skinned in the official merch, though.
Please, he's just a motherfucker.
It's just a random guy.
The agent is just going off on this poor man.
Please, he's already dead.
He doesn't deserve love. Hot take. No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty indifferent on Benry. I like the character, though.
Okay,
next up,
we're
going back to Gravity Falls. We're going back to Gravity Falls for Bill Cipher. Yeah, I said it right.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the icon Tumblr sexy men. you gotta collect them all, and he is one of the collectibles. He is the big bad from Gravity Falls. I felt his character's done really well in the series, which is partially why he became a Tumblr SEXYMEN. The other reason is an artist. Do you know the artist?
No, but I do know the one you're talking about. Where he's a twink in a suit.
I'll try to find the artist and I'll put it on screen. But Bill Cipher was drawn as a twink, and this started a lot of fan art. It became the Bill Cipher design, and it ended up resulting in a post by Alex Hirsch where he makes his own Bill Cipher design, and he is a triangle.
It's
and his
anything but
human
a twink.
version is also a triangle. And no one liked most people didn't like the non-twink version, except people who hated the twink version. So it didn't stop anyone.
It was funny.
I remember I started getting into speed paints a lot. One of my favorite speed paints was the All the Best People Are Crazy one. It's a very popular speed paint. It draws a lot of characters as their evil selves. But after that, you get a lot of recommendations for twink Bill Cipher interacting with Dipper in a weird toxic relationship. And I think there was shipping.
I was not immune to this as a child.
I was not in this land, but it's either daddy issues or shipping, and they look very similar in art.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch the Bill Cipher with a
Anyway, I don't want to
pole.
fuck the triangle. Thank you. Next.
I wouldn't fuck the triangle. I would fuck the twink.
I'm not on board for either.
All right.
Bill would probably try and possess you. This is one I requested by Maze to talk about.
Oh, it was?
Jack Frost.
Okay. So Jack Frost as a sexy man is a very interesting case, because I feel like the Guardians movie that he came from could have easily been swept under the rug, but for some fucking reason they plucked out Jack Frost and they just started shipping him with random fucking 3D animated movies. With random twinks from other 3D animated movies.
Well, and also Elsa.
Speaking of,
Elsa.
Because
there is a lot with Elsa because they're both cold.
Ooh.
There was that one.
There's one with Onceler. I brought that one up earlier.
Because
before we started streaming.
There was that.
Before we started. Sorry, you go first.
This is hilarious.
There was Jack Frost and Hiccup is the one that's most prominent in my mind. And I literally have no fucking idea why those two are shipped, other than the fact that they are both 3D animated and vaguely teenage. It's just such a weird fucking occurrence that it had no reason to happen, but it did anyway.
It's also crazy to me.
Before you joined the call for the stream, I was showing an AMV of the Onceler and Jack Frost. It has a lot of views.
It's a genuine artifact from 2012.
It's genuine. It's from 2012, yeah.
But what amazes me about like edits like those, or like, is that they have to go frame by frame in animation and edit those together. And
yeah.
I respect any 13-year-old who puts hours into that.
I cannot.
Yeah, they didn't have
You
very
will not
advanced
respect
editing
this child.
softwares then.
I'm going to
make it
bully
easier.
these children.
These children are
The
now in their 20s,
AMVs are
and I
a
think
lot
about
of
that
work.
constantly.
I'll say I've tried to make that style like edits, and I just give up. They're not fun to make.
That's fair.
So I have to give them credit. But Jack Frost is a character that doesn't make sense to me. I remember watching the movie, and he is just a peasant boy that died sadly. And that's the whole thing. He's not a villain. He doesn't have sharp teeth. He is just a white boy who died. That is all he has.
I didn't think he was very sexy. The person I did think was sexy from that movie was the Easter Bunny.
I
think Santa is pretty hot.
Santa is pretty hot.
Of course.
Okay, but like literally look at the Santa from that movie.
Look at him. He's kind of a beefcake.
I forgot to say
Look it
pass
up
on Jack
right now.
Frost.
Look at him.
I know what
He is
Santa looks
Russian.
like.
I'm gonna pass on.
He is
no, actually, fuck it.
I'm passing on Jack Frost.
I'm smashing him. He seems nice.
All right. Here is another big one. Tony the Clock.
I've never watched it.
From Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
I would
Shut
have
the
to
fuck
pass
up.
on this
I'm
man
introducing.
because he's not the sexiest character in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I feel like that title should go to the computer, Colin. And
of course.
That's just probably a personal me opinion because I'm into men kind of like that. And also the better thing about Colin is that he's not fucking British. He's not as British.
They're all British. It's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Britain's not real, and Colin's technically less pronouncedly British. And also
he's got a effect.
Yeah, I feel like Tumblr did something wrong. I don't think Tony deserved to be a twink because he has a more adultish kind of voice that would be more fitting of a, well, let's say a DILF. He shouldn't have been a
GILF. He could have been an old twink, but they made him look really young. Probably to make it less weird for them to ship with the coloring book thingy, creative book. Because she is the sketchpad lady. She is she's definitely not as old as the clock. She doesn't sound as old as the clock. So it's easier for them to go ham and go ham and ship them if they both look as young as just because they were the first two, I'm guessing, is why they got shipped. And the third episode is weird.
Yeah. Another thing that's weird is the purple guy from the FNAF fandom.
We didn't even get to say smash or pass. I'm guessing we'd all say pass.
Yeah, I don't know who this clock is.
I'm gonna pass on this clock.
I have a lot to say about Purple Guy. We waited this long to talk about him. I have been getting back into FNAF, and it has caused a large problem. But most of it is focused on Jesus Christ, the plot of Purple Guy. There is a lot of debates for the Purple Guy thing. There's Day Shift at Freddy's Purple Guy, which is entirely different than all the other Purple Guys, so I'll save him later. There's the most popular twink, which is the
Rebornica version.
Vincent Purple Guy, made by an artist. And what's Vincent Purple Guy's artist? Rebornica. They made Purple Guy, and that one became really popular to the point where Purple Guy doesn't even show the pixels anymore. First result, it's that design. There's also a picture of that design's ass, full out. Just Google it. It's on the first page. I promise you'll see it. Purple Guy ass.
Purple Guy
anyway,
ass.
that's not important to the story. That Purple Guy was shipped with Phone Guy, which had his own design, but a lot of people, like including me, got these designs confused with actual lore. So when you see ship art between, because I was like 5, not 5, but a little child,
young.
But when you see ship art of two characters that you assume are the same person, you get really confused. It did not help the confusion of the FNAF lore, and it started getting phased out around Game 3. Game 3, because Purple Guy became Springtrap. So other people started focusing on Springtrap. There's a lot of Springtrap fans because he's Purple Guy and because of other reasons. But Springtrap's its own character, so I'm not going to talk about him that much. But in the video game, he's literally just pixels. There is no like official design in the video game itself for William Afton. You get to hear his voice in Sister Location, and British. You get to talk. And he British. Has like he is the cause. He's again one of the causes of many daddy issues, and has 2 dead children, 3 dead children if you count Michael Afton, who is his own can of worms that I think should have been on this list.
2.5 dead children.
2.5 dead children. Well, technically they all die at the end, but that's FNAF spoilers.
They all die at the end.
Saying 2.5 dead children is still FNAF spoiler.
Yeah. Shut up. Anyway, the biggest important thing is the book series, because they released graphic novels. Book series, William Afton basically to be like, oh my god, this fucker's evil, and it created its own thing, and then they released his design, and he was a malnourished old fuck that looked like he lived in a dumpster.
I could break his bones. I feel it. I'm so weak, but I could snap him.
Yeah. And his character design is not my favorite, but there are people out there who were simping for him. Definitely.
With those teeth? Zoom in on the teeth.
With those teeth. I'm not zooming in on the teeth. The image is
Zoom in on the teeth.
I'm not.
Zoom back out.
Zoom back out.
He's got jank teeth. Trust me.
That just makes him more British.
This book design was fused with the Rebornica design, and it just creates so many different Purple Guys. Purple Guy is entirely dependent on the artist at this point, because some just draw him as Springtrap, and the other half draw him as their own design, like human-wise, because it's very hard to pinpoint a Purple Guy design, especially since in the new FNAF, he's all pixely, and so, because people draw him all pixely, because he's in the video game, spoilers, shut up, you should know FNAF lore by now,
this will be on the test.
So, I don't want to get too much into FNAF lore, because that would take another hour, but he's in the video game, and so people are like, oh, he'd be all pixely. There's just so many versions of this man, but the most popular versions are Springtrap, Book, and Vincent. But there's also Day Shift at Freddy's, who is shipped commonly with Old Sport. That's his name, I think. And the Purple Guy in Day Shift is named Dave Miller. He goes by Dave Miller in like the books, I think, too. But I'm not big into the books. But basically, Dave Miller is the Purple Guy, and you basically help murder children with him. And they're very gay.
Good for them.
And there's multiple endings in that game. It's a very good FNAF fan game, and it has a lot of following, because they use the pixel sprites and just recolor them for most of the character assets. It's very interesting. I like it. So there's like 4 characters that I mentioned for Purple Guy. I would not smash a single one.
I am unfortunately gonna have to pass, as he is a child murderer, and I am a child.
Yeah, I'm going to pass as well. I don't think any of us are going to say we're gonna smash the child homicide.
Another person who is intent on murdering a child is Sans from Undertale, who is another.
Oh shit! I forgot him on the list.
Yeah, you did. That's why I brought him up.
Yeah, thank you. Sans from Undertale is a character. There's so many AU versions of Sans too. He's one of those characters that have like 20 different versions, but the most popular is his original, thankfully. Unlike Purple Guy.
Undertale is a great game, and Sans is a fine character. But on that note, I could not have a relationship with this man. He has too much band kid energy, and he feels like He feels like your friend's little brother who will not leave you alone at a sleepover.
Yeah,
I'd hang out with him as a friend.
I want to pass on the same
He seems like he
reason.
cares about people he loves, though. Like,
He does.
especially with Papyrus. He cares a lot about people. So if you were his friend, he'd definitely care about you. But I wouldn't do anything more than friends. I know a lot of people liked him more than that, though. The amount of Sans shippers it's to be fair, I would have probably drawn the same thing if I was into fandom, but I had too many OCs.
Yeah. 2015 was kind to no one, and you know what was even more unkind? 2012, which is where our next 2012, which our next person comes from.
Let me check this.
The Onceler.
The Onceler.
I.e., the original, the OG, the TUMBLR SEXYMEN to kill all TUMBLR SEXYMEN.
Yeah, when you think of TUMBLR SEXYMEN, you think the Onceler. He's also going to be in the video thumbnail, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. He's why you
if
put
I remember.
There, you know.
Probably.
Here's a controversial take. In the year of our Lord 2021, I, Remy, would smash the Onceler from the lore. He's rich. I'm getting that money. I know he's destroying the planet, but he is not alone. And literally, I'm getting that money. He also
you'd have to get him in his prime.
Gotta get him in his prime.
In the green suit. If it's not in the green suit, I can't do it.
If it's not green,
but not old either. Not old.
I just could not at all. I mean,
he probably keeps his money in his drawers.
I've had too many traumatic experiences with Onceler fan fiction.
Well, here's the thing about the Onceler fandom. There's no doubt in my mind that if the Lorax came out today, I think it would happen again. Maybe not to the same...
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe not to the same extent, because now we have more conscious consideration of the media we consume. Or maybe not, because then again, I personally think
it would get worse.
Personally, it would probably be worse.
No, because a lot of big films, Onceler is so weird in my opinion, because most big films don't have a big following, you know? The biggest following I saw for a big film recently was Soul, and that didn't have anything I never saw any ship art of that. You can correct me if you want, but big films don't usually get that big of fandoms associated with them, I guess. Especially compared to something like a TV show, because for a TV show, there's a lot more content or story or hours, and you get to experience the characters more than a movie, because you have one main focus character, because you can't develop 20 characters in an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's another thing that makes the Onceler so unique, is that really, the Lorax as a film is a film that really just could have been swept by the wayside if not for the fandom. Yeah,
especially for something like Jack Frost and Alistair, who also are from films, quote unquote. Jack Frost himself is not as popular as most of these. He's just he's literally just ship fodder, I think, is how most people see him. And Alistair has a lot of content out of, he's also fueled by a lot of fanon, but he also has a lot of content that Vivziepop has shared, because it's one of her OCs, basically. So he has more than just what is seen in the pilot, and it's readily available to find. And he has the streams he does with Ashley on her podcast or whatever. But Onceler has nothing. He has a book that no one who was in the Onceler fandom looked at. He has,
obviously,
he has the original short, which, again, no one in the Onceler fandom paid attention to. And then he has the Lorax 2012 movie, which is the only media that you get for this character. Official media.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the Gecko. It's just a result of capitalism.
I don't know.
It really is.
That since even though the movie was a very anti-capitalism movie, the Onceler was very not the Onceler, but the Lorax was very well used. They slapped his face on literally everything, trying to say he approves it. They literally used him to cause more problems. I'm pretty sure the Lorax was used to promote a fossil fuel car.
Yep.
And IHOP and stuff like that. And the Onceler is the most sympathetic capitalist you could probably find. They didn't even bother to make the actions his own. Instead they bring his family that pressures him into doing it.
Yeah,
which
like
is
the original
weird.
books and shit. He already went out there with a plan to just destroy the environment.
I don't know if his plan was actually to destroy the environment, but his plan was to cut down the trees and make a product. And then it got big, and then he didn't care. He sees something again is he actually cares about the destruction before the last tree falls, because in the short and the book, most of it is about the destruction the Onceler caused.
Not the Onceler himself.
Yeah, well, in the movie, it's about the people around the Onceler, the Lorax, not about how he got to and how it got to that point, not what he did when he was at that peak. It focuses on his rise and his low, and it doesn't focus at the the peak of his bad, which creates a sense of you can't blame me, you didn't know me then, sort of deal. I don't know, it's just one of those. There's a lot of dumb decisions with this movie, which somehow caused people to find him attractive enough or likable enough.
Also, the fact that in the original book he wasn't shown at all, and the fact that they made him a skinny white suit-wearing man with a base.
The thing is, you never saw his face. You never saw his arms. You only saw green gloves. And that's all you got to see. So, also, it removes the big message with, the big ambiguous ending with, so they could have Onceler and Danny DeVito reunite at the end.
It also removes the accountability of everyone, because it's easier to project onto a green pair of gloves than a man with his own backstory. It really removes the thing of this is happening in our world and these are real consequences.
I actually think they could have done the Onceler right by humanizing him, because if you humanize him, you can make him, because the big problem is not just, I know some people say the problem is everyone's the part of the problem, but the biggest part of the problem is the big corporations like the Onceler. So if they were to make the Onceler closer to since they have it he starts out small and then he gets big, it sounds like a lot of these stories oh, Google started that, Mark Zuckerberg, he started in a garage and then he made this big corporation. It basically does that, except they didn't commit. They didn't make him make his own decisions. They bring in other people to make his decisions for him. And I feel like, especially if they made I feel like if they made the song Biggering, he might not have as big of a fandom as Bad Can I Be, because it's not as catchy, but he might. It's one of those things. There's a lot to the movie that's wrong, I guess. I do like the humanization of him, because it does make it seem oh, this could be you. You don't have humans. He's human. He starts off as just a normal person, or some band kid, and he turns into this evil shithole. But I do not like the ambiguous ending removal because it makes it seem like because the entire point of the ambiguous ending is for the reader to interpret. So some readers can interpret unless the corporations do something about it. Some readers can interpret it as unless the kid does something or we do something as a community or the next generation, like pushing it onto the next generation. It entirely depends on the reader or the watcher of the movie. But if you just give everything a happy ending, there's nothing to think about. You'll think, oh, we'll be fine. We'll just fix the problem.
And then the problem keeps getting worse.
And then the problem keeps getting worse. And the shipping of the Once-ler brought more attention to the movie, but the movie itself is bad and did not help convince anyone to change their ways.
Mm-hmm.
That ended on a downer, but I'm guessing we'd all pass the Once-ler. But all we have left is our own sexy men.
No.
What?
Now these are characters that could have or really should be Tumblr sexy men.
Yeah. We all picked one.
Mm-hmm.
So, Remy, you want to go first?
No.
No, I can go first if you want me to. So have you heard of Kipo and the Two Strings?
Yes.
They have a lot of they have these things called what's it called? Forget. I'm trying to find non-ship art right now. Basically, they have these animal people. They have a lot. They have giant beasts. I think wonder beasts are what they call them, and then they also have normal humanized furry stuff. But the character designs are really fun. And in sometime in the first season, you meet these characters called the Mod Frogs. And there's a small group of Mod Frogs, and they hunt down humans because I think humans are valuable in profits wise. Because I think a guy tries to buy humans a lot. I don't know. I don't want to spoil the plot, but there's this frog named Jamak, and he wears a suit, and I fucking love Jamak. He's such a fun character. I'm gonna send him in. He's a frog in a suit, and I feel like he doesn't get as much love. He can fight. He's funny. I like the frog man, and he has apparently a lot of ship art with the main character who is a minor.
Oh no.
But I feel like this frogman. He kind of does, but I do think this frogman should be a Tumblr sexy man. I think the one thing that's putting everyone off is that he is more frog-like than human in the head, especially his head.
He looks like a mascot.
I mean, if the frogs became very humanoid, how do you think they'd look?
I guess yeah, you're right. I guess like that.
He's got a long tongue too that he can do real frogs. So he hasn't lost all frog traits.
Damn.
All right, who's next?
Maze?
I can go.
Yeah.
Bring
who's
me
your
your
Tumblr
man.
sexy man?
All right. So I feel like had Family Guy not been released in 1999.
Don't fucking do this.
What the fuck is going on?
You're going to fucking do not do this.
Peter
you
Griffin.
hinted at this. I didn't. Oh my god.
I was thinking the dog.
Oh my fucking god. Peter Griffin and Brian could have possibly been viable options as Tumblr sexy men. They both.
Please explain yourself.
If we go off the Komeda checklist, they
No.
both play a large role in the story. Both play an antagonistic role, but are not originally presented as such. I'm not going to try and argue that they are morally gray. But I feel like they are split between being woobified and demonized in the Family Guy fandom. Brian does indeed have white hair, if you couldn't tell already.
I'm going to
put you down.
Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin is quite edgy. If you observe his actions in the show, they're both male. And Lois has quite the soft spot for Peter Griffin because he is her husband.
Okay.
I don't think
he's married.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of these men aren't married.
Junkrat.
I said most.
Yeah, so I'm playing.
Also, Junkrat is not a good pick.
I don't know. I mean, I think that Peter and Brian could both make quite good sexy men. Should the Family Guy have been released?
Most adult shows do not end up on the sexy men list. I'll be honest. There is a Rick from Rick and Morty, but I have never seen that shit on the. I don't agree with it being on this list. I have seen Rick sexy man art, but I've seen Morty ship art, self-cess. So
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, AJ. You're
yeah.
You're gonna need to shut the fuck up for me.
I have been in weird art communities. I don't.
They're also both very lol XD random. And
I
feel like
simply
that's
cannot
pretty
agree.
Necessary. You don't have to agree, but I'm just saying, Peter Griffin, Tumblr Sexy Man honorary approval badge.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. Introducing the new Tumblr Sexy Man, Digit from the Jim Henson Hour.
No.
Now you may be.
No.
Yo, is that Neil Sariga?
No.
Shut the fuck up. No, hear me out. This man fits into some of the archetypes. He's well dressed, usually wearing a button up and a blazer. He's super powerful, as in he literally controls the broadcasting station where the show is held. He has a kind of speech pattern like G-Man's, where he's slow and more dramatic-y. And he also is just... He has... the puppet himself was inspired by Jim Henson's fascination with technology at the time. So he has a very glitchy and technology aesthetic of other sexy men like Wheatley or, I guess, Colin and Connor. And he's also retro because he is literally from a show in 1989. And I also feel like there is a well of angst that Tumblr could just eat right up. Because the actual puppet of Digit had fallen into a state of disrepair, as into the point where he was literally rotting. Like, his mouth was cracking and his foam was deteriorating. And I feel like in a fandom kind of setting, this could be used as angst, as like a backstory of him being forgotten and turning into either a cold kind of shut-off character with a heart of gold, or a uwu soft boy who needs to be protected. And also, I feel like if he did have a humanization in the fandom, I feel like he would be twinkified. I'm not kidding.
You thought really hard about this. This puppet looks like he has jaundice.
Shut up. I think he's neat.
Oh. He looks like he has jaundice.
To me.
You're so mean to him.
How dare you say
that about Tumblr's new sexy man?
Yeah.
He's not Tumblr's new sexy man. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this video.
You're supposed to say yes, and this is an improv exercise, AJ. You're failing.
It's not an improv exercise. I can't act.
Card.
I can't.
Okay.
Give me an F. I don't care. I don't like this man. He's scary.
You're just mean to him, bro.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him sing. Look at him dance. Look at his funny pants.
I do like the fan art. I'll give you that. I would not smash this man.
So mean. I'd smash him. He deserves it.
I would have a
Muppet
very
fucker.
long conversation with him.
I feel like he'd have some very good. He'd have like a very interesting, like idea. He's the kind of person who can hear electricity. Like, he can hear electricity.
Like when you hear the lights, those lights, like the
Like a
little buzzy noise.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
is that it for the night?
Yeah, we've sexied our Tumblr men's. And it's time for God to have mercy upon our soul.
God will judge us for this video. It's going to be in heaven when God says, "Hey, yo, AJ,
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
AJ, remember when
I
we
wanted to-
talking about people's daddy issues on this podcast episode?
This podcast
how
will be.
I was gonna let you into heaven, but I just got a report that you made this video, and he like pulls out like a giant phone, and he's like holds it out, and it's this channel, it's this YouTube channel that we're on right now.
This video will be
And he says,
weighed
"Fuck
against
you."
a feather, and we'll send the feather so high into the air. It's not even funny.
Anyways, I'm glad we're now all holding our picks for the Tumblr Sexy Men, and Maze is drawn exactly in the Family Guy style. I'm definitely doing
face.
this.
And we're going to go talk to God about our choices.
We have to go into the ether. Holy shit, is that the Onceler? He's gonna kidnap me.
Oh god, he's gonna
He's gonna kill us.
He's gonna kill us. Holy shit, we gotta
Stop recording. Cut the camera's dead.
Cut the camera's dead.
Cut the cameras now.